Hello and welcome back to the Zodiac Trial. We're back in with another playthrough. This might be, well, I've been thinking about how many more I do, and while I ideally would like to get through one completely and, you know, get to survive, I'm not sure if I'll do that in the form of just, recording every run I do. But what I might just do eventually is that I'll just play while not recording, and in the process, just get through as many different options as possible. And eventually, once I've got a run that goes all the way through, I can show you that. Maybe I'll do something like that, but we'll see. For now, I'm back at the first real option of the game. And which one do we choose? Hmm, we've seen all of them. Um, we know Tiger's crazy, so maybe give her a bit of attention. And then I kind of want to, uh, uh, yeah, why don't you guys take this more seriously? Look, I'm normally all down for goofs and gags aplenty. I'm gonna call doubt on that. We're in a serious situation and we need to get real. We are real. And you're really a pain in the ass, so why don't you skedoodle, you Pepto Chugger? Pepto what? No need to get hostile, everyone. No, Rooster's right. I was just leaving. And with that, I walked away from that group. Alright, maybe not the best choice to make, but we hadn't seen it before, so I wanted to check it out, and we'll talk to Snake again. I think he was the first one we ever talked to. And there's no option there, so I don't have to worry about any different paths. Which now brings us to the option of who we investigate with. And I think we might have gone through all the groups there, but there might be one left. No, I think we've gone through all of them. We've gone through Ox to the computer and the thing you wanted to show us. Gone with Snake and Rooster. And we're just searching around. I don't remember what we found. Pretty sure we've gone with Horse and Sheep, but I absolutely cannot remember it. So if anything, then that's the one we haven't chosen. But we've done 3 runs, so I'm assuming we've gone with everything. But we might as well go with Horse and Sheep. Oh, okay. So apparently we haven't. Oh yeah, because the first run we did with Ox, we went to the computer, and the second run we did with Ox is we went to what he had to show us. Actually, I'll help Horse and Sheep with their search. I think checking out the training room seems like a good idea. It'd be great if you came with us, right, Horse? Couldn't hurt. Doesn't sound like he's thrilled to have me. Don't worry about him. I'm happy to have you. Well then, I'm glad to come along. Fine, Mouse, you go with them. Now can we quit talking about searching and just start searching? Yeah, let's do that. The rest of us can just split up and look around. Oh, and everybody, remember to input your moves and reconvene here before the round ends. Got it. With that, we all spread out and began our search. The workout room Horse told us about wasn't far from the cafeteria, so it didn't take long to get to it. We just had to walk down a hallway, take a turn, and we were there. So this is where we're going to look first? Is it a dumb idea? If it was a dumb idea, I wouldn't have decided to help you guys look here. I think it makes a lot of sense. If you were going to hide weird items for your demented death game, you'd most likely hide them in memorable places, right? And this place looks pretty memorable. My thoughts exactly. But man, for a school workout room, this place looks pretty high-end. There's a bunch of weights, bikes, treadmills, and is that a rock wall over there? And this isn't even the gym, this is just a room to work out. Incredible. My school never had anything like this. I think most don't. It seems like the location for the Jade Empress race is pretty fancy. A good investment, though. A good training environment is a big part of getting in shape. I wish I could work out at a place like this. I'd like to get stronger. You would? Who wouldn't? Fair point, I guess. So why don't you? Oh, well, I guess I'm just too busy. I feel like I always have something to do. I just can't set aside the time to regularly do something without much immediate benefit, you know? Well, that's not the case of you not having enough time then, that's you prioritizing other things over working out. Yeah, that makes sense. A big part of why I'm in a rubbish shape is simply because I've been too busy with life. But I guess I don't really have a strong desire to get fit anyways. I don't see the need. What? How is there not a need to be strong? I don't know. How often is there a situation where you have to be strong? Quite often. It's not about getting strong. You don't necessarily need to be as strong as horse. But you're definitely going to feel better being stronger than sheep. Even if it's just helping you with your general everyday life. You have to ask someone to open a jar for you. Then just imagine all the other quality of life updates you'll get or upgrades you'll get just by being just a bit stronger. Again, you don't have to weigh 100 kilograms and be full of muscle. Just, just a bit helps. What would you do if someone stuck a knife out at you and tried to mug you? Run away, horse. That's where you run away. There's no need to fight someone with a knife. I'd probably give them my money and hope I wasn't mugged again. See? Okay, but being mugged is a pretty unlikely thing to happen. But there's a chance. There's always a chance. With that logic, there's an advantage to not being strong. When is it better to be weak than it is to be strong? Let's see. I bet since you're so strong, all your friends call you when they need help moving furniture and stuff. That's gotta be super inconvenient, right? Well, and if you don't want to do it, you say no. What is the drawback in being able to help my friends when they need to be able to move things? Okay, maybe bad example. But the time you spend getting in shape could be spent on other good things. What if you researched a cure to cancer for all the time you've spent working out? Mouse, you're really underestimating what it takes to research cancer. You could have found the cure to cancer. No, he couldn't have. Good job, horse. I like horse more and more. I could not find a cure to cancer. You never know until you try. No, you do know until you try. You absolutely do. I'm reasonably certain I could not find a cure to cancer. Not to interrupt, but I feel like we might have gotten off track. You're right, sheep. We need to start looking for minor trinkets. Yes. Just saying that because you lost the argument, Mouse. We began to look around the workout room for any signs of something hidden. Sheep and horse didn't make for the most talkative partners, but that was fine with me. Top priority was finding a trinket. We spent plenty of time inspecting every corner of the room. After some time, I noticed Sheep trying to climb the rock wall. I didn't think much of it, but a few moments later she called us over. Look what I found at the top of the rock wall. I mean, she can't be in that bad of a shape if she can climb a rock wall. She pointed out a safe. Great work. Does it have anything to do with the race? I mean, probably. Why else would there be a cheap safe at the top of a rock wall? What does it say on top of the safe? Workout? What do you think that could mean? It's just giving good advice. More importantly, we need to get the safe open. There's a 4-digit lock combination to this. Horse picked up the safe and started examining it. This is pretty shoddily made. I used one of the weights I could pry it open after repeatedly striking it at the right angle. Oh, hey, maybe we use that as more of a last resort. Doesn't look like there's a limit to the number of guesses we can put in. There are 10,000 possible combinations to that safe. Assuming that each entry takes 5 seconds. Yeah. How about we just look for the safe's code? Where? I bet the message on the safe is actually a hint how to open it. Maybe we can find the numbers if we use the equipment in here. It's worth a shot, I think. I was able to dissuade Sheep and Horse from more extreme plans. Instead, we started frantically using all the workout equipment. Sheep started turning on treadmills, One of them had the number 5 taped on the tread. Horse went around the weightlifting machines and set the stopper at the various weight levels. At each level, he'd look underneath the block he was lifting. Eventually, this method resulted in finding another number, 3. With some difficulty, I moved the manual weights from their resting places, and under one was the number 5. Finally, stretching out one of the ropes, turned a black smudge into a number 5. There, that's gotta be all of them. 3 5s and and a 3. That's 4 digits. The only problem now is what order to put them in. Who cares, Mouse? We've gone down from 10,000 options to 4. Just try them out. Maybe there's something about an ascending level of difficulty? Or is there an order you should generally work out in? Horse, do you... Mouse, by the time you've talked about this, the solution's already in and the safe is open. Beep beep. I heard the sound of the safe opening. But with 2 numbers, it would be more reasonable to just try all the combinations. At this point, I think Mouse might be the most stupid out of everyone here. I can't say that for sure yet. We've still got Rooster here. No, Rooster's definitely more stupid still. Yeah. Rooster's... Let's not talk about Rooster. Dragon might also be a candidate. I don't think she's all that intelligent. Tiger as well, to be honest. It was 5535. Oh, okay then. I guess that makes sense. I was a little annoyed we didn't solve the puzzle properly, but she was right to just brute force it. We didn't need to play along with Brian's games. Well, let's see what's in this bad boy. I reached my hand in and found a blanket of white cloth. Looking at it closer, there was a string of numbers on it. Wrapped in the cloth came an explanation of what this was. Sheep's clothing. Sheep major trinket. Activate this item and become a copy of a separate contestant. This will replace your information with theirs. One-time use. So basically whoever uses this can replace their ability with someone else's? Seems like that could be useful in the race. But it's not a minor trinket. No, it's not. Does that mean this was a failure of an exploration? Not at all. We still found an item and we crossed off a room to search. That in itself is a victory. We don't need to rush. Anyways, I don't think this item's going to have any application. Sheep, since it's your major trinket, I guess you can hold on to it. Okay. She nervously took a hold of it. The mood in the room was a bit sour. After all that work, we found something that didn't actually seem to be that useful. Still, we couldn't give up hope. So, what's next? Well, that actually took a lot of the time we had this round. Maybe we should input our moves and meet back up in the cafeteria? That's a good idea. Fine. Sheep and I will go to different rooms. You stay here and press the run button. We will meet again at the cafeteria. West didn't suggest this so much as he ordered it, and so he just began walking out of the room. After a moment, Sheep began following him. Once they were gone, I pulled out my tablet and turned it on. There was no need to think much about my choice. I just pressed the run button. Afterwards, I returned to the cafeteria. Horse and Sheep arrived shortly after me. We were the first ones back. Horse took a seat by himself at the side of the room. Sheep, on the other hand, approached me. Mouse? Yeah, Sheep? We weren't able to find anything useful, were we? Objectively speaking, I guess not. If things keep going like that, people might get desperate. Maybe. So then, do you think we can trust everyone? I mean, I want to, but... She raised a good point. How to approach other people. Wait, which is the save one? Quick save. I don't want to quick save. That's what I want to do. Just put it in there. That way, we can go back to this choice. Let's be wary. Obviously, we need to try to work together. But, Sheep, there may be some people who try to take advantage of you to try to save themselves. So, just, keep that in mind. Be careful. Of course. Thanks for the advice, Mouse. Don't mention it. Right, as I said that, the others began walking into the cafeteria. Many of them were in low spirits. I couldn't find anything. Me neither. I was doomed. Is this it? Thought I'd at least be able to find one. Have no fear, citizens, for Team Rooster has secured a minor trinket. Really? Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Looks like I wasn't the only one to find one of those things. You've read through that, yeah. Oh yeah, we found an item, but it wasn't a minor trinket. It's going to be pretty useless to us getting out. Do not be discouraged. You found something that Brian hid. Let's progress, direct or not. Ox cleared his throat. Okay, now we're going through. And who do we search with? We've searched with Tiger and Dragon. We've searched with Bunny and Dog, and we've searched with Pig and Monkey. I kind of want to go back. Do we want to go back with the Tiger and Dragon and the gun route? What was Bunny and Dog? We were in that hole, we found something in there, I don't remember much. What did we find with Pig and Monkey? I honestly can't really remember. I think we go with the guns. We didn't really do much with Tiger though, did we? No, we'll go with Bunny and Dog and we'll see what happens. Go through that, we went into the auditorium. And what I remember. Give me any pile of coins. Yes, that was true, I'm pretty sure. Alright. And now we get to the personalities of this run. And this time we have accomplished. Someone who's accomplished a lot. It might be Snake. Who else could it be? Technically, it might be Pig. If you think about, like, she said that she's doing a lot of different jobs, and maybe if you go about it that way, you could say she's accomplished a lot of different things by doing those. Maybe Ox as a lawyer has accomplished a lot of things, maybe. The accomplished person, yeah, same rules. What's the other one? Weak. That's gotta be sheep, right? Is there anyone? I mean, Pig is weak as well. Who else is weak? I mean, Mouse is weak. But no, what was our personality was? Wasn't it clever or something like that? Something that didn't make much sense. Yeah. Pretty sure weak has to be sheep. Okay. Alright, we can skip through that. Let's see. Oh. There's something wrong here. Well, this is new. And people are going to have to die, aren't they? Was that true? And what was the point of all of this? It seemed to undermine everything Brian has set up until now. Unless there's something wrong here. What is wrong here? I might as well put a second safe in here. I mean, I can mention that the rules contradict what the Jade Emperor previously said, or that they are unclear on one major point. I kind of want to see what Mouse has to say about the major point. I thought they were perfectly clear. No, they're not. They talked about how the accomplished personality would be executed if they failed their task, but they didn't make it clear what would happen to the weak personality. Well, that's because they'd be executed, right? The Jade Emperor didn't make that explicit. Isn't that a weird oversight? For real? Look, just because this asshole didn't say it explicitly doesn't mean his point wasn't clear. Yes, it's not like he's bound to make his rules crystal clear. He's the one deciding whether or not we'll be executed after all. I guess. So then, what's the plan, Chief? The plan hasn't changed at all. We're going to find all the minor trinkets and then we'll all reach the finish line at the same time. Hold on, isn't it a super duper bad idea not to change anything now that we know about the personality type? Now there's a really good reason for someone to betray us. And how exactly do you propose they'd go about doing something like that? We've heard everyone's abilities and there's no quicker way of moving than all of us using the minor trinkets. If the accomplished type tries to get ahead of the others before we begin using them, we'll immediately know their intentions. From there the group can work against a common enemy and stop them. Once we get all of the minor trinkets, we can make it to the finish line in a matter of 2 rounds. Even if the weak type doesn't activate their trinket, more than 9 will receive a joint victory, so their immunity will be forfeit. I suspect that is why the 9-person caveat was added in the first place. Brian must have deemed it too easy for the hateful type to win had that rule not been in place. So ultimately, if we just proceed with this strategy, the 10 of us with normal personalities will be fine. Right, so there's really no need to fear at all. Thank God. You all are being awfully naive. What? Do you seriously think that those burdened with this rule would simply roll over and die? If they were willing to do that, they wouldn't have spoken up when we asked them to. And I think, yeah, this is now around where we know everything again. Yeah. Okay. Oh, made me the first target in line. What made me the first target? Mouse decided to check around some of the classrooms on the first floor, and that made her the first target, which is how I ended up being stabbed in the back with a kitchen knife. I screamed out in pain as loud as I could. Those screams actually drew some people to the scene of the crime. Unfortunately, it was too late. I was bleeding out too much. I didn't even see who stabbed me, so I wasn't even able to do some good in my death. So that's a bummer, I guess. Ace of Clubs. In this path, Mouse has already collected all the pieces she needs to solve Brian's puzzle. However, the ability to do something and the capacity to do it are 2 separate things. If Mouse doesn't connect the dots herself, no one else will. And then the race shall proceed standardly. Alright, what is this? Who did you search with in the second round? Ox. What did you do in the library? Go over to Ox. Who did you search with in the third round? Pig and Monkey. Did you solve the puzzle? No. What? Oh, so this... I see. This is just... Okay, you can go back to this point in the game if you want to, and then you can continue from there. I guess. And that way... you can continue... But wasn't that pretty much like the last step? Let me go through here. I confess, and then I die. So that path isn't exactly very useful, but sure. We've got that there if we want to go a different route. For now, let me actually go back to here. Let's say the rules don't actually mean 2 people have to die. What? Mouse, I'm beginning to question your listening comprehension. Wasn't it pretty clear that the accomplished and weak personalities couldn't work with the rest of us? Correct. People with those personalities can't win with the group. So you're defeating your own point. No, I'm not. If those personalities are the problem, then let's just get rid of them. Can we do that? I saw no such rule. Oh, well, sheep can copy one of the other personalities. But, well, that only works if sheep is one of those 2 personalities, which, well, given one of them is weak, she probably is, but, you know, we'll see. Well, I did. Sheep, Horse, and I found a major trinket which allows somebody to replace their information with another person's. At first I thought this just meant they could steal somebody's ability. However, I now realized that it could also be used to overwrite a personality. Hey, Mouse is right. That'll totally work. How intriguing. For real? Great thinking, Mouse. With this, there is a peaceful path ahead of us. Hold on. There's an issue. Why do it always have to be such a downer? I remember that trinket was one-time use, which means we can only save one person. Seriously? Damn it. Even when it looks like there's a path to safety, it gets snatched away. It's alright, Pig. Things are still under control. There's still a way to save everybody. Well then, let us hear it. Dog Bunny and I found another major trinket. That one allows you to reuse the last item that was input. In other words, it allows you to copy an item, not a personality. If we combine the two... I believe I'm beginning to see the picture. Yes, this should work. A good thing too, I'm not sure what I would have done had there not been a solution like this. So that means? Correct. I have the accomplished personality. Yep, guess that. Had you not worked out the solution, Mouse, well, things would have gotten far more complicated for me. So I thank you for that. You're welcome. If this is really going to work, then I'll also admit that I'm the weak personality. Who would have guessed? But we can fix that, right? Of course we can fix it. With these items, we'll be able to work together as a team. Hurrah! Yes, hurrah indeed. It was incredible how quickly the atmosphere morphed from one of defeat to accomplishment. There was a palpable feeling of positivity, like we had beaten Brian at his own game. We had worked out a loophole in his design, and instead of turning against each other, we could all survive. For my part, I felt quite smug about piecing the whole thing together, but I tried to remain humble. Instead, I took out the major items to help coordinate things. We decided that Horse's ability and personality would be the safest to copy. And before long, Ox and Sheep returned from their classrooms attesting that it had worked perfectly. It is fascinating there. What is? The obvious plan for a team would be to search the entire school for minor trinkets. In that search, it is almost certain that we would have found both of these major trinkets. It would not take too much thinking to put the pieces together and save those with a special personality. So Brian was accurate when he said that this was a trial of our character, and he was truthful when he said we could all get out together. If we were all really virtuous and level-headed, the accomplished and weak personality would out themselves and help the group search for trinkets. Then, when the group found those two major trinkets, we would realize that everyone could survive. However, I wonder what would have happened had we not found those trinkets before the announcement even played. Everyone goes crazy. Yes. Well, not everyone. Snake never goes crazy. At least I haven't seen him go crazy once. We don't know what would happen if he had one of the personalities. Well, to be frank, we don't know if we didn't already see what would happen if he does. Because he might as well have. Actually, I still think in our first playthrough, the fact that Snake... Actually, didn't they say it wasn't Snake? Didn't they say it was Pig who assembled the groups and turned it into a group voting thing? I'm pretty sure it was. So maybe we haven't seen Snake being conspiring yet behind our backs. I think it not improbable that instead of banding together like that, things would have devolved into chaos, resulting in very few of us surviving. What is the purpose of this thought experiment? I suppose there isn't one in particular. Then let's get back to business. We might have thwarted the Jade Emperor once, but let's not forget we're still in grave danger. We don't know what other tricks he may try, and we still need to actually find the 12 minor trinkets. He gave us an extra 15 minutes to try and sort things out, but it's definitely been longer than that. We need to get back to our search. Agreed. Let's split up again and search for the school. Yeah, we got this. Let's clear this game in style. My, what a festive mood. This morale should help our effectiveness. Or it'll make us complacent. Whatever, we need to start searching, let's start searching. Alright, and I want to save that as well because now we've actually gone past that and we can go back here and try again. And start searching we did. The group fanned throughout the school, turning over every room with great efficiency. And sure enough, we found a fair share of minor trinkets. One in a safe in the auditorium, another in the nurse's office, a third in a locked trophy case. And it wasn't just minor trinkets, but major trinkets we found too. blinders which shuffled everyone's positions on the board and made everybody's piece anonymous, a mousetrap which let you move backwards as much as you want. Rooster even found a pistol in a classroom on the second floor. He did a lot of posing with it before Bunny confiscated it from him. Good job, Bunny. We continued to update each other on our progress by meeting in the cafeteria at the end of each round. Then, in the 6th round, I found something interesting in the computer lab on the 3rd floor. I'm very sure the prayer mechanic came in before the 6th round the last time, but go on. One of the computer screens in the 4th row were open. Figured I should try checking it out. Looking at it, the screen had a PNG of a giant 9 minimized. Weird. Curious, I tried turning on a bunch of the other computers. Most of them were powered off, but 3 of them turned on, 1 in each row. The 3 that turned on were locked. They all needed a username and password. But I couldn't help but notice the fact that the profile picture of these 3 computers were all unique. First was a picture of an ox, the second a picture of a tiger, the third a picture of a bunny. That couldn't be a coincidence. I looked around the computer a bit more before finding a sign that seemed pertinent. How to start a computer, a guide. The username will be the owner's first name. The password will be their role. Possible roles: fool, complicit, judge, killer. Note: capitalization matters. Yeah, this was definitely one of Brian's puzzles. I didn't quite get it, but I figured there was no harm in giving it a shot. I started with the computer with the ox on it. I tried to remember Ox's name. Couldn't quite remember the prosecutor's name. For the username I input... This is like the main puzzle here, I feel like. The thing is, we don't know Ox's name. We only know Tiger's full name. And oh boy, I absolutely do not remember her name. Oh god. This might be tough. This might be very far in the future. Let's call him Ox. Okay, good. And then for the password, let's go with Judge. I thought that might do it. However, the computer wouldn't budge. I must have been wrong. Still, there had to be something big on these computers. I should work with the one already open. Sure, all that seemed to be open was a single .png file, but there could be more on the system. This is so going to be the password for the computer you find in with Ox in the first search, isn't it? I made my way to the computer and started digging around the system. And though it took me a bit, I did discover something interesting when I tried to log out. Something very curious indeed. Unfortunately, I would never be able to relay that information because right as I was putting things together in my head, I felt hands around my throat. I tried to fight it, obviously, but my assailant had the element of surprise and an iron will on their side. At the very least, I was able to lay my eyes on my attacker. And it surprised me, it really did. Not because of who my killer was. No, it was because my killer wasn't the person who should have been trying to hide what I had just found. So why bother killing me? A nice mystery to ponder as my consciousness and life slipped from my body. Ace of Diamonds. If Mouse pokes around the computers too much, she might catch that late fix. Mouse is clever and will likely realize that the computer pokes a hole in the story they've been fed. Her getting killed before she can relay that to the rest of the group is the best case scenario. Alright. At least tell me who it was, Mouse. Come on. Alright, let's continue from here. I don't know if that was a straight path to death. Okay, yeah, it just gets me to the username scenario. Okay, so I'll have to remember. Actually, I'll start making notes. I didn't think this game would actually get me to make notes. I'll make a quick drawing of the save files so that I can remember which one is where. I'll mark this as save file 3 as the computer lab with inputting passwords. And at that point, I also have a recollection of what it all means. Whose names do I need? Ox, Tiger, and Bunny. Help doesn't help. History? No, that's just a history. Okay. That's the death card. How do I... I can't read the text again. I'll probably have to watch back through the recordings to remember Tiger's name. I'll also make a list there. Wait, it was Ox, Tiger, and who? Was it Bunny? I'm pretty sure it was Bunny, right? But I'll go back to that just for a second. Go on. Who was it? Ox, Tiger, and Bunny, yes. Ox, Tiger, and Bunny. And I need first name, and the other thing I need is role. And the role consists of either fool, complicit, judge, and killer. That I assume means that the one that's already been opened, the 9, is A. I forgot about writing down judge. Is A one of those 4? Is B someone who has opened this? I don't think Brian would have left that open on purpose. I think someone found it. And I very much assume the person who killed us was the person with the number 9 there who had already opened his computer. Either that or the information specific to what we found in this computer relates to whose computer it is, because Mouse did say the information didn't relate to who killed us. But I could totally imagine Brian putting information there where, for example, if it's, let's just say, I don't know, Dragon's computer, that on Dragon's computer there would be very incriminating information regarding Tiger. I don't know. That would definitely be possible in my mind. But yeah, Mouse being very non-cooperative doesn't help. Okay. So we will load this. Yeah, exactly. Let's have faith in others. It may look bleak, but if we can't trust each other, bad things will happen. Can't give up no matter what. Right, you're right. Thanks for the advice, Mouse. Don't mention it. Something that just came to my head. It might be entirely unrelated, but what if the part that went into not, or like putting a hole in the story we've been fed? What if that is sheep? What if sheep actually isn't weak at all? What if she's quite strong, but just because she's, I don't know, a gymnast or a climber? Think back to the stone wall or the rock wall. What if she's just very like sturdy like that and not very muscular? And something in that computer actually gives that away. And that's why she was the one who killed us. And she killed us because we told her to be wary of others. And if we now tell her to trust others, then she won't kill us in a computer lab. It's a theory. Probably wrong, but I like the idea of it. Right, as I said that, the others began walking into the cafeteria. Alright, we'll search with... That's quite far back. We'll search with Bunny. We'll do the exact same steps, and I want to see what changes. Search with Bunny and Dog again. It's true. Rules don't actually mean 2 people have to die. Username, Ox. Password, okay. Nope. Still getting killed. Okay. It was worth a try.